Good, happy Friday morning, September 3rd, 2021. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Friday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Friday morning, so let's get started right now. First up, ISIS member involved in murder of New Hampshire journalist James Foley pleads guilty. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's the end of summer, so how do you get ready for a warm, cozy winter? Head over to Abundant Life Stoves this Labor Day weekend for the
British national Alexander Cote pleading guilty to all 8 charges against him in federal court in Virginia.
Today, through the voices and lives of the victims, justice spoke.
Cote charged with hostage-taking resulting in death, conspiracy to commit murder against U.S. citizens abroad, and conspiracy to provide material support to terrorists. James Foley, one of the ISIS hostages who was killed so brutally, grew up in New Hampshire. His mother, Diane, speaking outside of the courthouse.
We sincerely want to express our gratitude to all involved in apprehending Alexander Cote.
His parents, longtime residents of Rochester, have become advocates for press freedom and journalist safety, creating the James Foley Legacy Foundation. They hope this plea deal sends a strong message.
This accountability is essential for anyone who kidnaps or unjustly detains Americans abroad.
Cote also admitting his role in the death of journalist Stephen Sotloff 7 years ago today. Sotloff graduated from Kimball Union Academy in Meriden in 2002. Captured by Kurdish forces in 2018, Cote and another British ISIS member, El Shafif El-Sheikh, were turned over to the American military in 2019. Cote was scheduled to stand trial in January, with this plea now ending a long and arduous process.
The justice, fairness, and humanity that this defendant received in the United States stand in stark contrast to the cruelty, inhumanity, and indiscriminate violence touted by the terrorist organization that he espoused.
Cote faces life in prison. This after the U.S. government agreed not to seek the death penalty as part of an earlier deal to secure his extradition. He is scheduled to be back in court in Virginia on March 4th for sentencing. Reporting live, I'm Nicole Lally, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. CDC officials recommend those unvaccinated refrain from traveling during Labor Day weekend. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's the end of summer, so how do you get ready for a warm, cozy winter? Head over to Abundant Life Stoves this Labor Day weekend.
Unofficially, summer comes to a close this weekend, and despite Mother Nature not cooperating for much of the season, business leaders are thrilled with sales.
We have had an amazingly busy summer, and probably one of the best summers.
COVID cases are rising locally and nationally, but tourists don't appear to be discouraged. The Lakes Region Chamber of Commerce is anticipating crowds this Labor Day weekend.
There's a lot of concerts this weekend, there's a lot of live music. There's theater, there's arts and crafts festivals.
The CDC is warning travelers, recommending that those who aren't vaccinated against the virus should stay home for the holiday. And health officials say anyone who is fully vaccinated can travel, but should consider the risk of COVID when deciding whether to go somewhere.
Given where we are with disease transmission right now, we would say that people need to take these risks into their own consideration as they think about traveling.
The New Hampshire Lodging and Restaurant Association says despite a workforce shortage, business has been very strong this summer.
And I think they're anticipating this weekend's going to be quite busy. I think, maybe not quite a 2019 Labor Day weekend, but a pretty solid Labor Day weekend.
But now Mike Summers says time will tell how restaurants do in the months ahead.
The industry's concerned is, what does, mid to late October start to look like?
AAA says gas prices are fluctuating right now because of Hurricane Ida. Power was knocked out to 13% of the nation's refinery. Reporting live in Hooksett tonight, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Mask mandate reinstated in Lebanon by City Council. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's the end of summer, so how do you get ready for a warm, cozy winter? Head over to Abundant Life Stoves this
Well, starting this Saturday, you will need a mask in all public buildings in the city of Lebanon. The city manager says rising case numbers and concern for younger children are some of the factors behind last night's vote to reinstate the ordinance. Council members determined masking is one of the best and easiest ways to protect everyone from COVID-19 as the Delta variant continues to spread quickly.
We would monitor the situation, and when levels get down to an appropriate level, the minimum level that they were when we rescinded the mask ordinance last, that's when the council would reconsider rescinding it once again.
Well, the mandate is for all public buildings, including restaurants, until you are seated at your table. The Lebanon School District will also require students and staff to be masked for the return of.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Concord woman says she can't feel her legs after attack at Pitbull concert. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's the end of summer, so how do you get ready for a warm, cozy winter? Head over to Abundant Life Stoves this late.
I was hysterical, just saying, where am I? What's going on? Where am I?
This is 22-year-old Maddie Audit from Concord, an aspiring veterinarian now recovering in her hospital room after being knocked unconscious during a Pitbull concert at the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion on Sunday.
We were all just standing there dancing, having a good time, when I overheard a woman confronting my sister's roommate of stealing her drink.
Maddie says she was trying to break up an altercation between a friend and another woman over a drink when she was hit by a man she didn't know.
But apparently this man didn't like it. He climbed up over three seats, and he uppercut me in the jaw. I flew back 5 feet. Was unconscious, and then that's when the girl was wailing on me after I was already on the ground down.
When she regained consciousness, Maddie was in an ambulance and immediately noticed she couldn't feel her legs.
I was freaking out. I had no idea where I was. I didn't know why I couldn't feel my legs.
Doctors at Concord Hospital say Maddie suffered blunt force trauma to the spinal cord, which resulted in paralysis from the waist down. She's being transferred to Tufts Medical Center in Boston to undergo further testing. But so far, her spirits have remained high. Maddie says the toughest part of all this is being away from her 4 dogs.
But I was able to see one of them yesterday. She surprised me, and that obviously made me hysterical and very overwhelmed.
Maddie's brother set up a fundraising page which has already brought in thousands of dollars to help with her medical expenses. Meanwhile, police continue to look for the culprit.
You can get a drink replaced. You can't replace somebody's legs. You can't replace somebody's life like that.
And Guilford police tell us they have no suspects in custody at this point. They are reviewing surveillance video and ask anyone who may have seen that attack on Sunday to come forward to them. Live in the newsroom, Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Heavy rain causes problems for farmers, schools in southern New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's the end of summer, so how do you get ready for a warm, cozy winter? Head over to Abundant Life Stoves this...
Yeah, that's correct, Jess, here at Tenney Farm in Antrim. They say they have to wait about 24 hours after the rains have stopped to find out if they're going to flood. The remnants of Hurricane Ida moved through the region, dropping about 2.5 inches of rain in the Jaffrey-Peterborough area. Now, at Tenney Farm, they've already been hit with several floods, damaging their crops. The farmers say they went from having the best tomatoes they've ever seen in June to having significant damage to those and other crops as well. And now more floods may be heading their way as the farm sits on a low point adjacent to the Kentucky River.
All the water from like Jaffrey, Peterborough, all the surrounding areas kind of channels down to here. So say if we only get like an inch of rain here, right? But if Peterborough gets 3 inches of rain, all that water from Peterborough is coming right to us.
Now, at the Jaffrey Ringe School District, they were already dealing with problems caused by too much water, carpets having to be removed after some pipes backed up, delaying the start of school until next Tuesday. The superintendent says they did have some concerns when they heard that Ida was heading our way.
We saw, I said, 2 to 4 inches of rain. He's like, gotta hold our breath. And so we've figured we did everything we possibly could. And this morning we checked in and everything seemed to be okay.
As you take a live look now at Tenney Farm once again, this entire area was underwater back in July. The concern is right now that they're going to wait and maybe it'll be underwater again as well. Overall, though, for the region, talking to highway superintendents, public works directors, it seemed that the region came through relatively unscathed. Reporting live in Antrim, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. "24-year-old state representative Tim Baxter seeks 1st congressional district seat." Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
It's the end of summer, so how do you get ready for a warm, cozy winter? Head over to Abundant Life Stoves this Labor Day weekend for the...
He's a first-term state rep from Seabrook and just turned 24. But Tim Baxter says he's ready to represent New Hampshire's 1st congressional district in Washington.
Especially as someone that's young, I felt compelled to get involved in our political system to try to do my part to fight back against career politicians. I'm a conservative fighter. I'm a staunch advocate for liberty and freedom.
At the State House, Baxter has helped lead the Republican fight against vaccine passports. He also believes CDC Dr. Anthony Fauci should be in prison.
He lied about something the NIH did. The NIH funded gain-of-function research, and he lied about it under oath to Congress, and he knew about it.
If redistricting tilts New Hampshire's 1st congressional district firmly in favor of Republicans, we could see several more GOP candidates jumping into this race. But Baxter, who just announced endorsements from 32 fellow state reps, is building a campaign to compete in a crowded field.
Tim Baxter says that he's raised $100,000. We'll know that when the reports come out in mid-October. He's hired an experienced consultant who has worked both on the national level and on the local level in many races.
Baxter is also prepared to confront questions about his age.
I don't believe you should vote for me because I'm young, or you should not vote for someone because they're old. I think you should vote for whoever you think the best person is.
Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here on next week for another newscast. I'll be off air the rest of the week. Enjoy your weekend and Labor Day holiday as well, everyone.